So as football season prepares, I got another request, and this one is a real good one. It's the Steelers versus Green Bay. It's Terry Bradshaw and Ben Roethlisberger versus Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. All due respect to Bart Starr, but I wanted to keep this one a bit more modernized, is what it was asked. So which duo am I taking? Well, the duo Bradshaw and Roethlisberger won multiple rings, 6 chips, and they 7 appearances. Both, I believe, were Super Bowl MVPs. And both had what we call great playmakers around them. Obviously, the Steel Curtain of the 70s, that's the most dominant superstar pack. Well, if LeBron James could have played football in the 70s, you know he'd have been suiting up with the Steelers. But anyway, it's not about that. But I'm just thinking about, because that was before the salary cap and when you could just get guys and they were stacked. They did draft those guys, but they still was a stacked squad. I mean, look at all the Hall of Famers on both sides of the rock. Just not fair. You know, Webster at center, rest in peace. Franco Harris, Rocky Blyers, Star Wars Swan. Come on now. Elsie Greenwoods, Donnie Shield, all the Jack Ham Lambert on defense. I mean, come on now, Mel Blunt. You just mean Joe Green. You can't make this up. Chuck Noll sit on the goal line. Bradshaw was considered a really good quarterback. He heaved a lot of passes. He played in a tough era. I think that's one of the things I will give Bradshaw. His toughness is his endurance, because they threw you down like wrestling. It was, you know. But was he statistically memorable? No. Not like that. He won't be seen as like that. You know, he got 4 rings. No one ever brings up Bradshaw in the GOAT discussion for quarterbacks. Not like that. He wasn't Brad Johnson or a serviceable cat that was just there, but he wasn't exactly Mahomes either. So he's a great commentator though. But you know. Anyway, so you have that story. Then you have Roethlisberger, who went to 3 Super Bowls. The first one against the Seahawks, he was drunk. I think Antonio Randall actually threw the best pass on the Steelers side. They had some suspect calls in that game, but they won. But he came up big in the Arizona Super Bowl. You know, Antonio Holmes was like the Robert Ory of receivers back then, because he seemed to always come up clutch in the postseason. You didn't remember much of him in the regular season, but old buddy in the postseason. And that catch in the back of the end zone against Arizona, Roethlisberger put that ball there. So, of course, everybody remembers James Harrison with that long interception by Kurt Warner by the goal line. That was memorable. But anyway, that was an underrated Super Bowl. It was actually a good Super Bowl. Very good Super Bowl. And Mike Tomlin, at that time, became the second African-American head coach to win a Super Bowl, and great career. Much respect on my Epps Sr. Anyway, going on forward with this, though. Roethlisberger had if it wasn't for the dominance of Brady or Peyton Manning's incredible numbers, or Drew Brees stats, Roethlisberger's like in that era, that time. But those guys kind of tower over him. And sadly, sometimes people actually put Roethlisberger with Eli Manning, who does have stats, but Eli wasn't the most consistent during the regular season. And then sometimes with Roethlisberger, having Antonio Brown, having some great playmakers, but didn't always capitalize because the Patriots seemed to always be in the way. So there was always something. But I think some of it was because of style. I just think that Brady, Peyton Manning, and Drew Brees kind of, from a visual standpoint, I think that worked against, despite multiple rings of success. Now, Green Bay, Brett Favre, multiple MVP, won Super Bowl, and lost one Super Bowl. Had a great career. Aaron Rodgers, one Super Bowl win, multiple league MVPs, great career, considered one of the greatest ever. These are considered 2 of the top. You can make the case. Somewhere, depends on who you ask, between 6 and 15 greatest quarterbacks, between the 6th spot, 12, 13, 14 spot, depending on who you ask. Now, they've only got 1 Super Bowl win each, though, compared to Bradshaw and Roethlisberger, despite dominance in winning all those MVPs. So this asks us the question, which side do you choose? Because if it's about winning the chip, and despite having more superior talent, I think Favre and Aaron Rodgers had more superior talent, who do you side with? This one is tricky, because which duo do you think is better? I give the nod to Rodgers and Favre because their accuracy and what they could do and their talents. Now, Favre had to go to the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s, and that stopped him a lot of times. And he also had the misfortune of the Denver Broncos when Elway did the helicopter and beat them in that Super Bowl. That was a really good Super Bowl. Favre didn't look that good in that New England Super Bowl. That's when Desmond Howard locked himself into that kickoff return. Reggie White got down to the Super Bowl. They beat Drew Bledsoe and Bill Parcells in New England, but he did win. Aaron Rodgers played great in that Super Bowl against Pittsburgh that he won. Hypes and everything. The two of the most overhyped guys, and you could say two of the most overrated. So all four of these guys can be considered overrated, but there's something about Rodgers and Favre that they hit, despite less Super Bowl wins, they were the better duo, I think. I think they were. And it's close, though. It's close. We can debate this, but this was a request. So anyway, I'm just taking it. And I do take these, this is different territory, but we're going to do this, though. Please like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shit if you like. And please hit that membership because the videos and things that you request, I get them back to you. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay focused, stay healthy, stay awake, stay hydrated. Peace. The best. I'm back one time.